Why do we call the letters of the alphabet characters? Think about it. We say A is a character, B is a character, C is a character. Why? Because A is always A. A is A in the morning. A is A at midnight. A is A in the classroom. A is A in the courtroom. A is A when a child writes it, and A is A when a professor writes it. The environment does not change it. The pressure does not change it. The audience does not change it. A does not become B because important people came into the room. That is character. Character is that which remains the same when circumstances change. Write that down. Character is not what you become when people are watching. Character is what remains when nobody is watching. Character is not your reaction to applause. Character is your consistency when there is no applause. Character is not your speech on the stage. Character is your conduct when the microphone is off, the lights are off, and the crowd has gone home. Why do we call numbers characters? Because 1 is always 1. 2 is always 2. 5 is always 5. If you put 1 in America, it is still 1. If you put 1 in Africa, it is still 1. If you put 1 in Asia, it is still 1. 1 does not become 3 because it is under pressure. 2 does not become 7 because money showed up. A number is trusted because it is stable. You can build mathematics on it because it does not negotiate its identity. That is why your character is more important than your gift. Your gift may attract people, but your character determines whether they are safe around you. Your talent may open doors, but your character determines whether you destroy the room after you enter it. Your charisma may give you influence, but your character determines what you do with that influence. And this is where we have a crisis today. The crisis is not first a leadership crisis. It is a character crisis. People are tired of powerful people who change when pressure comes. They are tired of leaders who change when money comes. They are tired of men and women who change when applause comes, when opportunity comes, when access comes. They are tired of public confidence and private contradiction. They are tired of people who preach one thing, sign another thing, promise one thing, practice another thing, smile in public and scheme in private. Listen carefully. Power without character does not create leadership. It creates danger. Power without character creates public danger because now your weakness has resources. Now your appetite has authority. Now your insecurity has a platform. Now your private disorder has the ability to affect families, churches, companies, nations, and generations. This is why God is not impressed by how loud you are, how gifted you are, how followed you are, or how many people know your name. Heaven measures weight differently. Heaven asks, are you the same? Are you one person? Are you A in the morning and A at midnight? Are you one in public and one in private? Are your convictions stronger than your circumstances? Stay with this teaching, because we are going to deal with the foundation, not the decoration. If you desire kingdom principles that form leaders from the inside out, then stay connected, because God does not build leaders from the microphone first. He builds them in the hidden place first. And before you use this message to judge somebody else, prepare your own heart. Do not look for the scandal in another man before you examine the contradiction in yourself. The question today is simple. What changes you? Because whatever can change you can control you. Now listen carefully. We keep saying the world has a leadership problem. We say the church has a leadership problem. We say government has a leadership problem. We say business has a leadership problem. But I want to submit to you that the problem is deeper than leadership. Leadership is only the place where the problem becomes visible. The real crisis is character. A leadership failure is usually a private character failure that finally found a stage. Write that down. It did not begin when the cameras came. It did not begin when the investigation started. It did not begin when the article was published. It began in the secret place, when a man negotiated with his conviction. It began when a woman excused what she should have confronted. It began when the heart said, nobody will know. It began when the conscience was silenced long enough for compromise to become normal. This is why you must never confuse charisma with character. Charisma can attract people. Character protects people after they arrive. Charisma can fill a room. Character can be trusted with the people in the room. Charisma can make people clap. Character makes people safe. Charisma can give you followers, but character determines whether those followers are being led or used. Do not be impressed too quickly by gifts. Gifts can work while the person is breaking. Gifts can speak while the soul is divided. Gifts can preach truth while the life is negotiating with lies. That is why the crisis is dangerous. We have promoted talent faster than we have inspected character. We have celebrated ability without examining stability. We have given microphones to people who never conquered their appetites. We have given platforms to people who never governed their private world. We have put authority in the hands of people whose principles were not strong enough to manage their opportunities. The problem is not that people have power. Power is not evil by itself. Power is simply capacity. Power is influence. Power is access. Power is the ability to make something happen. The problem is that power reached them before principle governed them. Power arrived before values were settled. Power arrived before discipline was internal. Power arrived before integrity became law in the soul. And when power comes to an ungoverned person, it does not create the problem, it exposes it. So stop reading public scandals only as news. Study them as warnings. When a leader falls, do not just ask, how could they do that? Ask what was ignored before it became public. What appetite was being fed quietly? What lie was being protected? What compromise was being rehearsed? What warning did they override? Every public collapse has a private history. And before you point your finger too quickly, examine yourself. Who are you when nobody applauds? Who are you when nobody checks? Who are you when nobody asks for the receipt? Who are you when you can delete the message? Who are you when you can hide the transaction? Who are you when you can get away with it? That is the real you. Character is not proven by what you say under lights. Character is proven by what you refuse in darkness. Character is not proven by how you behave when people honor you. Character is proven by how you behave when nobody can reward you. If you need surveillance, to be honest, you do not have character yet. If you need exposure to repent, you do not have integrity yet. The leadership crisis is a character crisis. And until we build people before we platform people, we will keep producing influence without integrity, authority without discipline, and success without safety. And this is why the first principle of kingdom leadership is found in Genesis 1:26. God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion." Watch the order. Image came first. Dominion came second. Likeness came first. Rulership came second. Nature came first. Authority came second. Write that down. God never gave dominion before image. He never gave rulership before likeness. He never released authority before nature. Before man was permitted to govern the earth, man was designed to reflect God in the earth. That means dominion was not the first issue. Image was the first issue. Power was not the first issue. Character was the first issue. Assignment was not the first issue. Nature was the first issue. This is where many leaders have missed God. They want dominion without image. They want influence without likeness. They want authority without nature. They want territory without transformation. They want the crown without the character that can carry the crown. But in the kingdom of God, authority is not given to your ambition. Authority is given to your alignment. What is image? Image is not your body. God is spirit. Image is the invisible nature of the king expressed through the visible life of the representative. Image is character. Image is values. Image is moral likeness. Image is the internal government of God reproduced in a human being. When God said, "Let us make man in our image," He was saying, let us create a creature who can represent what we are like. So before God said, rule over the fish, rule over the birds, rule over the cattle, rule over the earth, He first said, be like me, carry my nature, reflect my values, manifest my character. Because if you do not reflect the king, you will misrepresent the kingdom. If you do not carry His nature, you will use His authority for your own appetite. If you do not have His character, you will turn dominion into domination. Dominion was never meant to be independent power. Dominion was delegated authority. There is a difference. Independent power says, I can do what I want. Delegated authority says, I must represent the one who sent me. Independent power says, this is mine. Delegated authority says, I am a steward. Independent power produces abuse. Delegated authority produces service. Independent power asks, how can I use this? Delegated authority asks, how can I honor the king with this? That is why God tests image before he trusts dominion. Say that to yourself. God tests image before he trusts dominion. He tests whether you can reflect him before he allows you to represent him. He tests whether you can govern yourself before he gives you something else to govern. He tests whether his nature is formed in you before he puts resources, people, opportunity, and influence under your care. You see, the earth was never designed to be ruled by human ego. The earth was designed to be ruled by human beings carrying divine character. God's original plan was government through image. Heaven's nature expressed in earth's management. That is kingdom. Kingdom is not religion. Kingdom is the governing influence of a king over a territory, impacting that territory with his will, his purpose, his values, and his culture. So when God made man in his image, he was creating a representative government on earth. This is why character is not optional for leadership. Character is constitutional. It belongs to the very structure of your assignment. If you remove image from dominion, you have authority without accountability. If you remove likeness from leadership, you have power without principle. If you remove nature from rulership, you have a gifted person who can destroy what they were assigned to cultivate. Listen carefully. God never intended man to rule the earth without first reflecting the character of heaven. That is the principle. You can disagree with a preacher, but you cannot disagree with a principle. Principles do not change because your culture changed. Principles do not change because your generation became impatient. Principles do not change because you have followers, money, education, or a title. If you violate the principle does not break. You break yourself against it. This is why promotion can become punishment when character is missing. The same platform that could have served your purpose can expose your immaturity. The same authority that could have blessed people can multiply your weakness. The same dominion that could have advanced the kingdom can become the instrument of your collapse. Power in the hands of image is leadership. Power in the hands of appetite is danger. So stop asking God only for dominion. Ask him to restore his image. Stop asking him only for influence. Ask him to form his likeness. Stop asking for the door if you cannot be trusted in the room. Stop asking for the platform if your private life cannot survive exposure. The real prayer of a leader is not just, Lord, use me. The real prayer is, Lord, make me safe to use. Because when God finds a person whose character reflects his nature, he can trust that person with authority. When he finds a man or woman who is one in private and public, he can trust them with people. When he finds a leader whose values are stronger than their opportunities, he can release dominion without destroying them. Image before dominion. That is the foundation. Nature before authority. Character before power. And any system, church, business, government, or family that reverses that order is building disaster into its own future. Now this brings us to one of the most important words in leadership. Integrity. What is integrity? Integrity means integration. It means you are not pieces. It means the private person, the public person, the family person, the business person, and the spiritual person are the same person. Write that down. Integrity is when your life is not divided into compartments where each compartment has its own standard. You do not have one language in church, another language in the office, another language with your friends, another language online, and another language in secret. That is not integrity. That is fragmentation. That is a divided life. Character is oneness. Character is consistency. Character is predictability under pressure. If I have to meet a different version of you, depending on where we are, then I have not met your character yet. If your wife knows one person, your employees know another person, your pastor knows another person, your phone knows another person, and God knows another person, then you are not integrated. You are divided. And whatever is divided is weak. A divided house cannot stand. A divided soul cannot lead. A divided leader cannot be trusted with dominion, because dominion requires representation. If you are divided in yourself, you will misrepresent the one who sent you. This is why holiness is not just religious behavior. Holiness is wholeness. Holiness means you are one. The scripture says the Lord our God is one. That means God is integrated. God does not have a private character and a public character. God is not merciful on Sunday and corrupt on Monday. God is not truthful in heaven and dishonest on earth. God is one. His nature is consistent. His word is consistent. His ways are consistent. That is why he can be trusted. So when God says be holy, he is not only saying dress religious. He is not only saying attend a service. He is not only saying use spiritual words. He is saying be one. Be whole. Be undivided. Let your inside and your outside agree. Let your confession and your conduct agree. Let your values and your habits agree. Let your public praise and your private decisions agree. This is the meaning of integrity. It comes from the same idea as integer, a whole number. One is one. It is not a fraction. It is not broken into pieces. It is complete. That is what God is after in a leader. He is not looking first for a gifted fragment. He is looking for a whole person. Because a gifted fragment can impress people while destroying trust. A whole person may move slower, but they can carry weight. Listen carefully. Your life must become one message. Your words must not preach what your habits deny. Your title must not announce what your character cannot sustain. Your prayer life must not be used to cover your disobedience. Your public worship must not become camouflage for your private rebellion. Some people have learned the language of the kingdom without submitting to the government of the kingdom. They know how to say amen, but they do not know how to say no. They know how to lift their hands, but they do not know how to govern their appetite. They know how to quote scripture, but they cannot keep a promise. They know how to speak vision, but they cannot be faithful with truth. That is dangerous. Character is when your yes has weight. Character is when your no has government. Character is when your word is heavier than your appetite. Character is when your conviction is stronger than your opportunity. Character is when pressure does not rewrite your values. Character is when temptation does not negotiate your identity. Who are you when the doors close? Who are you when the browser is open? Who are you when the money is available? Who are you when the person admires you? Who are you when nobody will check the receipt, nobody will read the message, nobody will ask the question, nobody will know? That is where integrity is measured. Do not tell me who you are only on the platform. Show me who you are in the hotel room. Do not tell me who you are only in prayer. Show me who you are in negotiation. Do not tell me who you are only when your family is smiling in public. Show me who you are when you are tired, offended, pressured, and unseen. Because integrity is not an event. Integrity is a nature. It is not something you perform. It is something you become. It is when truth has entered so deeply into your spirit that lying feels like death. It is when purity has become so valuable to you that compromise feels expensive. It is when your covenant with God is stronger than your convenience. This is why God tests the hidden man before he trusts the public leader. He asks, are you one? Are you the same? Can I trust you with influence and not lose you to image? Can I trust you with access and not lose you to appetite? Can I trust you with opportunity and not lose you to ego? So make the audit today. Are your words heavier than your desires? Are your convictions stronger than your opportunities? Are your values strong enough to govern your schedule, your money, your body, your mouth, and your relationships? If you are not one, ask God to integrate you. Ask Him to heal the divisions. Ask Him to close the gap between what you announce and what you practice. Because dominion belongs to the integrated life. Authority belongs to the whole person. God can trust the leader whose public life and private life are not enemies, but witnesses saying the same thing. Trust is not built on excitement. Trust is built on consistency. People may admire your gift first, but they do not trust your gift first. They trust what does not change. They trust your pattern. They trust your history. They trust the fact that when pressure comes, you do not become another person. Write that down. The foundation of trust is predictable integrity. If people cannot predict your values, they cannot safely follow your leadership. They may enjoy your talent. They may clap for your ability. They may even be impressed by your results. But they will not give their hearts to a person whose character keeps changing with the weather. A parent loses trust when love becomes conditional and discipline becomes anger. A pastor loses trust when truth is preached publicly but violated privately. A politician loses trust when convictions become campaign language instead of moral law. A business owner loses trust when profit becomes more important than principle. A spouse loses trust when covenant becomes negotiable. You see, people do not lose trust only because you made a mistake. They lose trust because they no longer know which version of you is coming next. Trust requires predictability, not boring predictability, moral predictability. People must know you will tell the truth when lying benefits you. They must know you will keep your word when keeping it costs you. They must know you will honor boundaries when nobody is watching. They must know you will not sell your convictions because the price became attractive. Popularity is different. Popularity can be borrowed from talent. Popularity can be borrowed from beauty. Popularity can be borrowed from a moment, a platform, a song, a sermon, a speech, a performance. But trust cannot be borrowed. Trust must be earned. Trust is built by repeated truthfulness. Trust is built when your yes keeps being yes. Trust is built when your no keeps being no. Trust is built when people watch you under pressure and discover that your values have weight. This is why some people are popular but not trusted. They can draw crowds, but they cannot carry people. They can attract attention, but they cannot steward authority. They can make people laugh, cry, shout, vote, buy, and follow online, but the people closest to them are afraid because they know the private inconsistency. Popularity measures attention. Trust measures confidence. And leadership without trust is only control. If people follow you because they fear you, that is not trust. If they follow you because you manipulate them, that is not trust. If they follow you because you are gifted, but they do not know whether your values will survive temptation, that is not trust. True leadership rests on the confidence that your character will not betray the people your gift attracted. So ask yourself, can people predict your values? Can your children predict your truthfulness? Can your spouse predict your faithfulness? Can your employees predict your fairness? Can your church predict your humility? Can God predict your obedience when nobody applauds? Do not ask for more authority if your values are still negotiable. Do not ask people to trust your leadership if they cannot trust your consistency. Before God gives dominion, He looks for image. Before people give confidence, they look for integrity. Lead with what does not change. Lead with truth. Lead with consistency. Lead with a life that makes your words believable. Because the leader who cannot be predicted by principle cannot be trusted with people. Now, the first test of character is power. Everybody wants power until power begins to expose them. Everybody wants authority until authority removes the excuses. Everybody wants a title until the title gives them access to what their character has not yet conquered. People say power corrupts. That is not accurate. Write this down. Power does not corrupt. Power reveals corruption that discipline never dealt with. Power is not the creator of your weakness. Power is the amplifier of your weakness. Power does not put pride in you. It gives pride a platform. Power does not put insecurity in you. It gives insecurity a staff. Power does not put control in you. It gives control a system. Power does not put entitlement in you. It gives entitlement permission to speak loudly. That is why you must be careful when you pray for influence. Influence will not only reveal your gift, it will reveal your heart. Authority will not only show people what you can do, it will show people who you are. The title does not change the man. The title exposes the man. The office does not create the character. The office magnifies the character that was already there. If you are humble before the title, authority will give your humility more reach. If you were proud before the title, authority will give your pride more damage. If you were a servant before the promotion, power will increase your capacity to serve. If you were selfish before the promotion, power will increase your capacity to use people. This is why power is dangerous in the hands of an unformed person. Power is not the problem. Unformed character in possession of power is the danger. Look at how a person treats people beneath them, and you will know what power has revealed. Do not study only how they speak to important people. Everybody can be polite to somebody who can promote them. Everybody can smile before someone who can open a door. Everybody can act humble around a donor or boss, a famous person, a bishop, a client, a voter. That is not the test. The test is how you treat the person who cannot benefit you. How do you treat the cleaner? How do you treat the waiter? How do you treat the assistant? How do you treat the employee who cannot defend themselves? How do you treat the child who cannot argue back? How do you treat the spouse when the public is not present? How do you treat the person who has no power to reward you and no power to punish you? That is where your character is speaking. Power reveals whether people are sacred to you or useful to you. If you only honor people who can help you, that is not honor. That is strategy. If you only respect people who can challenge you, that is not humility. That is fear. If you only show kindness to people who can promote you, that is not love. That is ambition wearing perfume. And this is why God delays some promotions. You thought he was punishing you. No, he was protecting you. You thought he forgot you. No, he was forming you. You thought the door was closed because people were against you. Sometimes the door is closed because mercy is for you. Because promotion without formation can destroy the person and damage the people. God knows what a platform can do to hidden pride. He knows what a title can do to hidden insecurity. He knows what authority can do to a controlling spirit. He knows what applause can do to a soul that has not been healed. So before he gives dominion, he tests image. Before he releases authority, he tests likeness. Before he trusts you with people, he tests whether you can govern yourself. Remember Genesis. Image before dominion. God did not say, let them have dominion and then maybe they will become like us. No. He said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. The order is eternal. Character first, power second, nature first, authority second, formation first, promotion second. Some people are angry because they have not been promoted. They say, God, why not me? Why not now? Why are they moving faster than I am? But heaven is not impressed by speed. Heaven is interested in safety. Can God trust you with people and not lose you to pride? Can he trust you with influence and not watch you become abusive? Can he trust you with success and not see you forget the convictions you had when you were small? Power will ask you questions. Are you still teachable when you are in charge? Are you still accountable when people clap for you? Are you still a servant when you can give orders? Are you still truthful when your name is important? Are you still gentle when nobody can correct you? Are you still faithful when your opportunity is large? Do not wait for a title to discover your weakness. Judge yourself now. Discipline yourself now. Govern your appetite now. Heal your insecurity now. Crucify your pride now. Because whatever you do not govern in private will govern you in public when power arrives. Lead with your life before you lead with your title. Let your authority be carried by image. Let your influence be governed by principle. Let your power be submitted to character. Because God can trust the leader whose character is stronger than their opportunity. Now the second test of character is money. Power tests what you will do when you have authority. Money tests what you will do when you have opportunity. Write this down. Resources reveal values. Money does not create your value system. Money exposes your value system. When money comes, it asks the soul a question. What do you really honor? Everybody says they love truth until a lie pays better. Everybody says they love righteousness until compromise offers a contract. Everybody says they love family until ambition promises more applause. Everybody says they love God until provision becomes a golden calf. Money is not evil. Money is a tool. But when money becomes your source, your master, your security, and your identity, then money has moved from your hand into your heart. This is why money asks every leader one question: are you for sale? And if you are for sale, what is your price? Is it a promotion? Is it a check? Is it a house? Is it a car? Is it a relationship? Is it a seat at the table? Is it a business deal? Is it a political favor? Is it a donation? What amount makes your conviction quiet? What opportunity makes your conscience negotiate? What promise makes you disobey what you already know God said? Money does not merely buy things. Money can buy silence. Money can buy compromise. Money can buy access. Money can buy loyalty. Money can buy disobedience if character is weak. A person with no internal government can be purchased by external reward. They may not call it selling out. They may call it being practical. They may call it being strategic. They may call it wisdom. But if money causes you to violate principle, it was not wisdom. It was purchase. Listen carefully. The issue is not how much money you have. The issue is how much of you money has. There are poor people controlled by money and rich people who are free from it. Poverty does not prove character. Wealth does not prove corruption. The question is not the amount in your account. The question is the authority it has over your obedience. Can money instruct you to lie? Can money make you betray? Can money make you flatter what you know is wrong? Can money make you ignore injustice? Can money make you sell the people you were called to serve? That is why Jesus said you cannot serve God and mammon. He did not say you cannot have money. He said you cannot serve it. Money is a terrible master, but a useful servant. In the kingdom, money must serve purpose. Money must serve vision. Money must serve family. Money must serve righteousness. Money must serve assignment. But money must never replace principle. Provision is not permission to disobey. Some leaders fail because wealth becomes more valuable than righteousness. They will adjust the truth to protect the income. Some fail because money becomes more valuable than family. They can provide for the house but destroy the home. Some fail because money becomes more valuable than calling. They abandon purpose for profit and then wonder why success feels empty. Some fail because money becomes more valuable than their own soul. They gain the contract and lose themselves. What a tragedy to be bought by what you were supposed to govern. What a tragedy to be mastered by what was designed to serve you. What a tragedy to discover that your character was cheaper than your reputation. A leader must decide before the offer comes. You do not build conviction in the moment of temptation. You bring conviction to the moment of temptation. If you wait until the envelope is on the table, your values may be too weak. So settle your price now. Better yet, settle that you have no price. Decide now, I will not sell truth. I will not sell righteousness. I will not sell my marriage. I will not sell my children. I will not sell my calling. I will not sell my name. I will not sell my God. My convictions are not merchandise. My conscience is not available. My obedience is not negotiable. This is character. Character is when your values are stronger than your desires. Character is when your principles are heavier than your appetite. Character is when your calling can look at an unlawful opportunity and say, keep your money. Character is when you can lose profit and keep peace. Character is when you can walk away from a deal and still sleep at night because your soul remains intact. Do not be impressed by people who only prosper. Ask what they compromise to prosper. Do not envy the speed of a person who took a dishonest road. Roads have destinations. The road of compromise always collects interest. You may get the money today, but tomorrow it will ask for your silence. You may get the access today, but tomorrow it will ask for your obedience. You may get a promotion today, but tomorrow it will ask for your soul. Kingdom character makes money a servant. It says to money, you will not govern my ethics. You will not edit my convictions. You will not purchase my loyalty. You will not change my message. You will not replace my God. I will use you, but I will not worship you. I will manage you, but I will not bow to you. So examine yourself. Are you honest when cash is involved? Are you truthful when the numbers can be hidden? Are you faithful when nobody checks the invoice? Are you clean when the gift comes with conditions? Are you still righteous when obedience costs you money? Money reveals whether your convictions are stronger than your desires. And God can trust a leader who can handle resources without being ruled by them. Keep principle above provision. Keep righteousness above revenue. Keep purpose above profit. Because dominion is safe only in the hands of a person who cannot be bought. Now the third test of character is access. Power asks, can you handle authority? Money asks, are you for sale? But sexual opportunity and relational access ask, do you have discipline over your own body, your own emotions, your own appetite, and your own secrecy? Write this down. Many leaders do not fall because they lacked gifts. They fall because they lacked self-imposed discipline. The gift was real. The anointing was real. The intelligence was real. The influence was real. The opportunity was real. But the internal government was weak. And when access came, appetite became stronger than assignment. This is why you must never confuse giftedness with maturity. A person can be gifted and still be undisciplined. A person can preach and still be uncontrolled. A person can sing and still be unstable. A person can lead a company and still be governed by lust. A person can speak vision and still be secretly attached to something that is destroying their future. Look at Samson. Samson had power, but he did not have discipline. Samson could defeat enemies, but he could not defeat appetite. Samson could tear down gates, but he could not close the door to temptation. Samson had strength in public and weakness in private. And listen carefully, private weakness eventually cut off public strength. Samson's problem was not that he had no calling. He was called. His problem was not that he had no gift. He was gifted. His problem was not that he had no destiny. He had destiny. His problem was that his discipline was not equal to his assignment. And whenever your discipline is smaller than your destiny, your access will become dangerous. Then look at Joseph. Joseph also had opportunity. Joseph was young. Joseph was gifted. Joseph was favored. Joseph was in a house where nobody from his family could see him. No father watching. No brothers watching. No pastor watching. No church watching. No public reputation to protect. And temptation came to him privately. That is the test. Character is not proven when temptation is absent. Character is proven when temptation is present and you still obey God. Do not tell me you are pure because nobody has offered you anything. Do not tell me you are faithful because nobody has pursued you. Do not tell me you are disciplined because no door is open. The question is, when the door opens, what governs you? Joseph had opportunity, but his convictions were stronger than the opportunity. Joseph understood something Samson ignored. Your destiny is more valuable than a moment. Your name is more valuable than secret pleasure. Your future is more valuable than private access. So Joseph ran. He did not negotiate. He did not explain himself into danger. He did not stay to prove he was strong. He ran. Some of you are trying to manage what you were commanded to flee. That is why you keep losing. You are praying over what you should delete. You are counseling what you should cut off. You are calling it friendship when heaven calls it danger. You are calling it chemistry when your conscience calls it compromise. You are calling it harmless when your future is already trembling. Run from what your gift cannot survive. Run from the conversation. Run from the room. Run from the private message. Run from the emotional attachment. Run from the environment that keeps awakening an appetite you were supposed to govern. Destiny is protected by the discipline to run from what your gift cannot survive. Do not be foolish. Everybody has a place where they are vulnerable. Character does not pretend there is no weakness. Character builds boundaries before weakness is invited. If you know a conversation is becoming secret, stop it. If you know a relationship is feeding something unlawful, end it. If you know a room makes you weak, leave it. If you know a device has become a doorway to bondage, put government over it. There are some numbers you must delete. There are some meetings you must cancel. There are some doors you must stop opening. There are some late night conversations you must never have again. There are some emotional dependencies you must bring into the light before they become a fire in your house. Do not wait until the scandal to become disciplined. Discipline before exposure. Discipline before the appetite grows. Discipline before the attachment deepens. Discipline before the enemy has evidence. Discipline before your children have questions. Discipline before your spouse has tears. Discipline before your ministry, your business, your family, and your name are injured by 5 minutes of weakness. And never say, I can handle it. That is usually pride talking. Joseph did not say, I can handle it. Joseph ran because he knew obedience was more important than appearing strong. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is leave. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is block the number. Sometimes the most mature thing you can do is refuse access. Access without discipline destroys destiny. It destroys marriages. It destroys credibility. It destroys trust. It destroys peace. It destroys children's confidence. It destroys years of labor. One secret attachment can damage what took 20 years to build. One hidden compromise can give the enemy a weapon against your future. So govern your access, govern your eyes, govern your phone, govern your conversations, govern your calendar, govern your emotions, govern your body. Do not let your appetite make decisions your destiny will have to pay for. Character says, my body is under government. My emotions are under government. My relationships are under government. My access is under government. I will not let a secret pleasure destroy a public assignment. I will not let a hidden attachment cancel a holy destiny. I will not let my gift be killed by what my discipline refused to confront. God can trust the leader who knows when to run. He can trust the person whose conviction is stronger than desire, whose obedience is stronger than access, whose future is stronger than a moment. Keep your destiny protected. Keep your life clean. Keep your boundaries strong. Because dominion is safe only in the hands of a leader whose discipline is stronger than their opportunity. Now listen carefully. Your lifestyle is not an accident. Your lifestyle is a confession. The way you live tells us what you value. And what you value tells us what you believe. So if you want to understand a leader, do not only listen to their speech, study their habits, study their decisions, study their friendships, study their calendar. Study what they protect and what they permit. Write this down. A leader's lifestyle is the visible expression of their hidden value system. You live from the inside out. Whatever is governing you privately will eventually decorate your life publicly. If greed is inside, greed will build a lifestyle. If lust is inside, lust will build a lifestyle. If pride is inside, pride will build a lifestyle. If truth is inside, truth will build a lifestyle. If humility is inside, humility will build a lifestyle. This is why you cannot fix leadership only with rules. Rules are necessary, but rules are not enough. Policies are necessary, but policies are not enough. Public relations is not enough. Image management is not enough. A new title is not enough. A better suit is not enough. A clean website is not enough. A professional photograph is not enough. You can polish the image and still leave the character diseased. The problem is internal government. Everybody say government. Government means control. Government means order. Government means law. If there is no law inside you, then every opportunity becomes your master. If there is no standard inside you, every appetite becomes legislation. If there are no fixed values in your heart, then your emotions will become your constitution. Here is the order. Your belief system produces your values. Your values produce your morals. Your morals inform your ethics. Your ethics produce your character. Your character becomes your lifestyle. That is the order. Belief system, values, morals, ethics, character, lifestyle. Do not forget it. If you want to change the lifestyle, you must go back and inspect the belief system. What do you really believe? Not what you say in church. Not what you post online, not what you teach publicly. What do you believe when nobody is watching? What do you believe when money is offered? What do you believe when power is given? What do you believe when access is available? Because your true belief system will always produce your true values. Values are things you consider valuable. If truth is valuable to you, you will protect truth even when a lie is convenient. If purity is valuable to you, you will protect purity even when desire is loud. If service is valuable to you, you will protect people from your ambition. If humility is valuable to you, you will stay teachable even when you are celebrated. If accountability is valuable to you, you will not hide from correction. If stewardship is valuable to you, you will not waste what God entrusted to you. If obedience is valuable to you, you will obey before you understand all the benefits. Kingdom values must become non-negotiable before opportunity arises. Do not wait until the temptation comes to decide who you are. Decide before the door opens. Decide before the money is offered. Decide before the person calls. Decide before the promotion comes. Decide before the platform expands. Decide before the applause increases. Values must be settled before visibility, because visibility does not create values, it tests them. A person without fixed values will adjust their ethics to match their appetite. That is dangerous. Today they believe in holiness because there is no temptation. Tomorrow they believe in privacy because temptation has become attractive. Today they believe in honesty because the truth costs nothing. Tomorrow they believe in wisdom because the lie is profitable. Today they believe in accountability because they're small. Tomorrow they believe they are too important to be questioned. That is not growth. That is corruption with language. Ethics are your values under pressure. Ethics are what you do when your values are tested by opportunity. If you say you value truth, your ethics will tell us whether truth is really valuable. If you say you value family, your ethics will tell us whether family is really valuable. If you say you value God, your ethics will tell us whether obedience is really valuable. Your ethics are your values wearing work clothes. Then ethics become character. Character is not a speech. Character is repeated ethics until your life becomes predictable. You tell the truth again and again until truth becomes your nature. You refuse compromise again and again until purity becomes your pattern. You serve again and again until service becomes your reflex. You submit to correction again and again until humility becomes your posture. And then character becomes lifestyle. You no longer have to perform integrity because integrity has become you. You no longer have to pretend discipline because discipline has become you. You no longer have to manage an image because your private life and public life are one life. This is why vision without values is destiny without discipline. You can have a great dream and still destroy it with a weak value system. You can see the future and still be disqualified by your habits. So do not ask only, where am I going? Ask, what is governing me? Do not ask only, what is my vision? Ask, what are my values? Do not ask only, who follows me? Ask, who corrects me? Do not ask only, what can I build? Ask, what kind of person am I becoming while I build it? Settle your values. Lock them in. Truth is not negotiable. Purity is not negotiable. Service is not negotiable. Humility is not negotiable. Accountability is not negotiable. Stewardship is not negotiable. Obedience is not negotiable. When values become law inside you, opportunity loses its power to redesign you. Lead from internal government. Let your private values become public consistency. Let your beliefs produce clean morals. Your morals produce righteous ethics. Your ethics produce strong character. And your character produce a lifestyle that heaven can trust. Because dominion is dangerous in the hands of a person whose lifestyle is governed by appetite instead of values. Now listen carefully. Never build public influence on private contradiction. That is one of the most dangerous things a leader can do. Because whatever you hide does not disappear because it is hidden. Hidden things still have weight. Hidden things still have power. Hidden things still shape decisions. Hidden things still speak through attitudes, reactions, appetites, fears, and motives. There is no such thing as a private life that does not affect public leadership. Write it down. What is hidden is still shaping what is visible. You may hide the habit, but the habit is training you. You may hide the conversation, but the conversation is forming you. You may hide the relationship, but the relationship is influencing you. You may hide the spending, but the spending is revealing you. You may hide the motive, but the motive is governing you. This is why private contradiction is public collapse waiting for an opportunity. It is only waiting for pressure. It is only waiting for access. It is only waiting for promotion. It is only waiting for one door to open wide enough for what was private to become public. And when it becomes public, people call it sudden. It was not sudden. It was growing in secret. Secrecy gives compromise time to grow. Transparency gives character room to breathe. Anything you keep in darkness gains strength in darkness. Sin loves secrecy. Lust loves secrecy. Greed loves secrecy. Pride loves secrecy. Bitterness loves secrecy. But character grows in light. Integrity breathes in light. Accountability strengthens in light. Truth heals in light. That is why you must never confuse secrecy with privacy. Privacy is stewardship. Secrecy is concealment. Privacy protects what is sacred. Secrecy hides what is shameful. Privacy says, this is holy. Secrecy says, I hope nobody finds out. And any part of your life that depends on nobody finding out is already dangerous to your destiny. Here is the rule. Never do anything privately that would destroy your assignment if it became public. Never send a message you could not read aloud. Never make a transaction you could not explain. Never sit in a room you would be ashamed to be seen in. Never build an attachment you would have to lie about. Never entertain a motive that would embarrass your calling if God put it on a screen. I am not talking about perfection. I am talking about government. I am talking about integrity. I am talking about being one person. The Lord our God is one. Be one. Do not be one person in the pulpit and another person in the hotel. Do not be one person in the boardroom and another person on the phone. Do not be one person with your family and another person with strangers. Do not be one person when people clap and another person when nobody knows your name. Inspect your life. Do not just inspect your reputation. Inspect your phone. Inspect your calendar. Inspect your spending. Inspect your conversations. Inspect your motives. Inspect your relationships. Your phone is testifying. Your calendar is testifying. Your bank statement is testifying. Your private messages are testifying. Your friendships are testifying. They are all witnesses to the government that is inside you. Who has access to you that should not have access? What conversation are you protecting that is weakening your convictions? What appointment would create confusion if your spouse, your children, your board, your pastor, or your team knew about it? What are you paying for that feeds an appetite God told you to govern? What are you deleting? What are you hiding? What are you explaining away? Do not wait for exposure to become honest. Honesty is not damage control. Honesty is a lifestyle. Character does not need a scandal before it tells the truth. Character brings things into the light while they can still be corrected. Character says, I will not allow a secret to become a weapon against my future. I will confess it. I will confront it. I will correct it. I will submit it to government. Sometimes exposure is mercy. You thought God was embarrassing you. No, He was saving you. You thought God was delaying your promotion. No, He was protecting the people who would have been damaged by your promotion. Sometimes God reveals what is weak in private before it destroys many people in public. That is not rejection. That is correction. That is not hatred. That is mercy. Because God loves people too much to give them to an ungoverned leader. He loves your family too much. He loves your ministry too much. He loves your business too much. He loves the people assigned to your voice too much. So He will put pressure on the hidden place before He gives you wider influence. He will test the unseen before He trusts you with the seen. So stop defending contradiction. Stop protecting what is poisoning you. Stop calling it private when it is really divided. Stop calling it complicated when it is disobedient. Stop calling it weakness when it has become a lifestyle. Bring it under government. Live in such a way that if your private life became known, your assignment would not be destroyed. Live clean. Live whole. Live one. Let your private integrity become the foundation of public trust. Because influence built on contradiction is already cracking, even if the crowd cannot see it yet. Now, after all of this correction, do not misunderstand God. God is not against leadership. God is not against influence. God is not against power. God is not against dominion. He created man for dominion. The problem is not power. The problem is ungoverned power. The problem is authority without image. The problem is title without truth. The problem is a leader trying to govern people while they cannot govern themselves. Write this down. The first territory every kingdom leader must govern is themselves. Before God gives you people, He watches how you govern appetite. Before He gives you a platform, He watches how you govern secrecy. Before He gives you resources, He watches how you govern desire. Before He gives you a title, He watches how you govern your own spirit. Do not ask God for nations when your emotions are still lawless. Do not ask God for a company when your character is bankrupt. Do not ask God for followers when your private life is divided. Do not ask God for more influence before you ask Him for more integrity. Influence increases impact, but integrity determines whether that impact heals or harms. True leadership begins with self-government. Can you command your appetite before you command people? Can you tell your desire no before you tell a team what to do? Can you lead your eyes, your mouth, your money, your time, your body, your emotions? If you cannot govern what is inside you, then whatever is outside you will eventually govern you. A title does not make you a leader. A title gives you position. Character gives you weight. A title can open a door, but only character can keep you in the room with honor. A title can make people report to you, but only integrity makes people trust you. And trust is more powerful than position. People may obey your title because they have to, but they follow your life because they trust it. The greatest leaders are not those who chase followers. True leaders do not run around begging people to follow them. True leaders serve with their gifts so faithfully that people are drawn to the fruit. A tree does not advertise fruit, it produces fruit. And when the fruit is healthy, people come. Your gift is your leadership fruit. Your service is your invitation. Your consistency is your credibility. Stop trying to be famous before you are faithful. Stop trying to be visible before you are valuable. Stop trying to be promoted before you are principled. Your gift may attract people, but your character must protect them. Your charisma may gather a crowd, but your integrity must govern the crowd. If your gift brings people close to you and your character is weak, then your gift becomes dangerous. Kingdom leadership is representation. Genesis does not begin with man seeking a position. It begins with God saying, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Image first, then dominion. Likeness first, then rulership. God's original purpose was not merely that humans rule. It was that humans rule as visible representatives of His nature. That means leadership is not first about control. Leadership is about representation. When people encounter your leadership, they should see something of God's justice, God's mercy, God's truth, God's order, God's faithfulness, God's holiness. Dominion without image becomes oppression. Power without principle becomes abuse. Influence without integrity becomes manipulation. So lead with your life before you lead with your title. Lead with your marriage. Lead with your money. Lead with your habits. Lead with your honesty. Lead with your discipline. Lead with your teachability. Lead with your repentance. Lead with your consistency. Let your life preach before your mouth speaks. Let your private order become the foundation of your public authority. And do not despise the hidden season. The hidden season is where God forms the leader. The hidden season is where appetites are trained. The hidden season is where motives are purified. The hidden season is where values become law. God is not wasting time when He makes you wait. He is building the kind of person who can carry what you are asking Him to release. If you want more influence, ask this first. Can God trust more of me with people? Can He trust my motives? Can He trust my eyes? Can He trust my tongue? Can He trust my money? Can He trust my appetites? Can He trust me with access? Can He trust me with honor? Can He trust me when no one checks on me? Leadership is not how many people know your name. Leadership is how much of God's nature your life can safely represent. So stop worshiping platforms. Stop envying titles. Stop chasing rooms your character is not ready to govern. Become whole. Become clean. Become one. Govern yourself first. Because the leader God can trust with dominion is the leader whose life is already under authority. So now we come to the covenant. Not a performance, not an emotional moment, a covenant. Because character is not built by excitement. Character is built by decision. Character is built when you bind yourself to truth before temptation arrives. Write it down. Character is consistency. Consistency creates trust. Trust qualifies leadership. And leadership without character becomes danger. That is the whole teaching. If you forget everything else, remember that. Character is consistency. Consistency creates trust. Trust qualifies leadership. Leadership without character becomes danger. God is not impressed by power without image. God is not impressed by gifts without government. God is not impressed by influence without integrity. He is looking for people who can be trusted when nobody is watching, when money is offered, when access is available, when applause is loud, when pressure is heavy, and when the door is open. So make this covenant before God. Say it from your spirit. I will not trade my purpose for pleasure. I will not trade my integrity for money. I will not trade my convictions for access. I will not trade my future for applause. I will not sell my name for a moment. I will not destroy my assignment for an appetite. I will not become successful publicly and bankrupt privately. Before you ask God for more power, ask Him to make you one person in every room, one person at home, one person at work, one person in church, one person online, one person with money, one person with opportunity, one person with authority, one person in secret. The Lord our God is one. Be one. Do not ask for dominion before you submit to image. Do not ask for a platform before you build an altar. Do not ask for visibility before you accept accountability. Do not ask for influence before you become integrated. God can trust the leader whose character is stronger than their opportunity. This is the final test. Can God trust you with what you are praying for? Can He trust you with the people? Can He trust you with the resources? Can He trust you with the room? Can He trust you with honor? Can He trust you with success? Can He trust you when nobody checks on you? Make the decision today. I choose character before power. I choose image before dominion. I choose integrity before influence. I choose discipline before access. I choose truth before reputation. I choose God's purpose before my private appetite. And if that is your decision, write it in the comments. I choose character before power. Or write the kingdom truth you are choosing to believe, apply, and live out according to God's original purpose. Let it become a declaration. Let it become a witness. Let it become the beginning of a new standard. Share this teaching with someone carrying leadership responsibility. Subscribe and return for teachings that form character before influence. Because God does not just want you gifted, He wants you trustworthy. He wants you whole. He wants you one.